Good evening, one and all. Kerala High Court Advocates Association welcome you all to the official inauguration of website and YouTube channel of Kerala High Court Advocates Association and the felicitation ceremony of a member, Dr. George Abraham, on acquisition of LLD. Kindly raise for the silent prayer. You may all take your seats now. I invite Advocate P.K. Ajit Kumar, Secretary, Kerala High Court Advocate Association, to welcome the August gathering.
Respected President of the Kerala High Court Advocates Association, Advocate R. Lakshmi Narayan, Honorable Chief Justice, Mr. Justice S. Maniguma, and all other dignitaries on the dais, respected senior advocates, and my dear advocate friends. This may be the last public function of KHCAA 2020. And on the 1st of January 2020, this committee assumed charge with great expectations and dreams. As all the members of the present committee are very enthusiastic and energetic. However, due to the unexpected pandemic difficulties, we could not function as expected. I know that you all might have expected more from us, but while analyzing the activities of the association in the year 2020, I stand before you with utmost pride that we could achieve the ultimate goal of the association, though we had to compromise on our regular celebrations, which was unavoidable. The duty cast upon me is to welcome the dignitaries of the gathering. Advocate Lakshmi Narayan, who is known for his pleasant attitude and friendly nature, led the association on the right track with utmost confidence. I welcome the President of the Kerala High Court Advocates Association, Mr. Lakshmi Narayan, to preside over this function. Today, we are delighted and blessed to have the Chief Justice of the Kerala High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice S. Maniguma, to inaugurate the website and YouTube channel of KHCAA. I hope that during the past 1 year, His Lordship Mr. S. Maniguma would have experienced the culture and loving attitude of Kerala. Sir, I may say that if not for your Lordship's courageous efforts, the sitting of the Kerala High Court, both virtually and physically, without any break, would not have been happened at the time when the Honorable Supreme Court and other High Courts have not functioned during the lockdown period. Although majority of us felt about the harsh restrictions made especially for the advocates and clerks on the entry to the High Court building, which has resulted in allegations against the committee for not protecting the interests of advocates and clerks. However, we now realize that this was done for the safety of the community, and we are happy that all of us are safe and sound. I know that His Lordship S. Manikumar is very friendly to all and ultimate sports lover, as we could see him as a star of the day in the match between the judges of the High Court of Kerala and the Madras High Court. I welcome His Lordship Justice S. Manikumar to this function. I may take this opportunity to welcome our member, Advocate Adarsh, who is a software engineer turned advocate, who has agreed to spare his valuable time to create the website for our association. When we thought of creating a website, quotations were called for, and most of the quotations were above 6 lakhs for creating the website, which was above our budget. Our friend Adarsh, who has proved himself as a friend in need, has agreed to take this venture for the meager sum amounting to only 10% of the above other quotations. I take this opportunity to thank Advocate Adarsh for his commitment, love towards our association. I welcome Advocate Adarsh to this August function. Advocate Adarsh? Yes. Dr. George Abraham, who started his career as an engineer, has now become a leading lawyer in the Kerala High Court. Dr. George Abraham, who had earlier obtained a doctorate, has now obtained LLD degree from University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun. We have assembled here to congratulate him for the achievements he has made. I take this opportunity to congratulate Advocate Dr. George Abraham and to welcome him to this August function. Senior Advocate Sudaman sir, who is the President of the Kerala High Court Senior Advocates Association and the Executive Committee of the present KHCAA 2020, is a well accepted and reputed Senior Advocate in the High Court of Kerala. I welcome Senior Advocate Sudaman sir to facilitate the function. Senior Advocate Abraham Vakanal, who is a former President of KHCAA, who is known for his humorous public speech, has agreed to facilitate the function today. I welcome Senior Advocate Abraham Vakanal sir to this August function. I welcome my committee members, Vice President Advocate M.R. Hairaj, who is introducing the website, Treasurer Advocate Jayakumar Namburi TV, who is introducing the Advocate Dr. George Abraham, and the Joint Secretary Vishnu Prasad, who is proposing the vote of thanks also to this August gathering. I welcome all other committee members of the Team 2020 who are assembled here, and all my respected seniors and other advocate friends of the bar to this August function. Thank you one and all. Wish you. And also, we have some important dignitaries here. We have our registrar of the Kerala High Court of Kerala. I welcome you, madam. This is Audrey Karthik. Other dignitaries present here, the personal staff of the Chief Justice, all our ladies and gentlemen, they are welcome to this August gathering. Thank you. Thank you.
I invite Advocate R. Lakshmi Narayan, President Kerala High Court Advocate Association, for the presidential address.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice S. Manikumar, Dr. George Abraham, Senior Advocate Abraham Vakanal, Senior Advocate Sugunabalan, my dear friends, respected seniors, other esteemed members of the bar, Registrar General of this Honorable Court. In fact, I am delighted to preside over a function blessed by the graceful presence of the Honorable Chief Justice. It reminds me when we took charge and we fondly call ourselves as Team 2020. With much expectations and dreams, we took charge in January. And when we met His Lordship Justice Manikumar, we were delighted to have his response that in all activities of Bar Association, the Chief Justice said, we will be with you, the High Court. And what we want is your cooperation for running the wheels of justice smooth and in a finer mobility. And we assured, we all started with great hopes, but suddenly, after we had enjoyed our mind-blowing experience of having a meeting in which first time, the honorable judges of this honorable court as well as the honorable judges of Madras High Court sat together for a talk by the Advocate General of Madras High Court. That was the greatest moment of my life as a president. So I thought that was in March. After that, we had a wonderful match, and we could cheer our team, our Chief Justice team, to win. And in that match, His Lordship was the man of match. No. And I'm sorry. I stand corrected. Then all was well at that point of time. Suddenly, everything changed. It took a U-turn, and the corona pandemic that caused panic. The lawyers, the clerks, the legal fraternity, it all was very, in fact, subjected to untold sufferings. I'm not on dilution of those aspects, but I'm certain that as a bar association, and I said we call our team as Team 2020, but some of you may be calling us COVID committee. Well, I accept that criticism. And I expect many of the criticism as shown in the social media, as I could discern from the social media, that's most ineffective committee. I vary with my head down. I accept that also. And ineffective. And what is the ineffectiveness I would like to present before you? Though we have not conducted annual day celebration or Onam celebration, Christmas celebration, we could uphold the majesty of the association by cooperating with the High Court in moving the justice wheels in a better manner, even in pandemic. There is you must have seen Ruvas Sealam, Spear Justicia Ruvas Sealam. Even if the sky falls, the justice should happen. Justice should be dispensed with. In this pandemic, everybody, even the functioning of the Kerala High Court was a model to the other state as well as even Supreme Court. I must say, I can assert with certain level of confidence. And in that situation, I felt that my Lord, the Chief Justice, he was slightly strict and tough. But after some time, when I contemplated, I understand that was for the betterment, that was the safety of the legal fraternity at large, and not because His Lordship doesn't have any special concern for the lawyer community. And even after that, after relaxation made by the government as far as the pandemic is concerned, many activities, many special functions were held in the High Court, all with the cooperation. And I'm sure that my Lord will be wishing us a great 2021. And I'm again reiterating, even if we have not conducted any celebrations, we have definitely succeeded in achieving the objectives of the association by serving the lawyers, their medical assistants, their assistants for the junior lawyers. 226 lawyers were given during the pandemic days, the lockdown period, 7,500 rupees as a special care fund. Laptop scheme, medical assistance, many schemes were formulated, and I must claim with pride that the fundamental aspect of our victory is the cordial relation with the committee. I have a very excellent, strong secretary and the vice president, very wise vice presidents, and intelligent, very composed treasurer Jayakumar Nambudiri, and very extremely smart colleagues as committee members. I with my head again bowing down before you, I say that best of our ability we have served to serve the association, its objects, and to uphold its majesty. And I am sure that with all cooperation extended by His Lordship and the High Court of Kerala, the next committee will be able to succeed more. And there is in Psalm of Life, there is a poem, Psalm of Life by Henry Longfellow. Departing, leave behind you footprints on the sands of time. I don't say we don't want to have any footprints. You just forget whatever little footprints created by. Go stronger, and whatever little energy at our command, this committee, we will be helping the next committee to achieve its majestic and the stronger, very extremely, ambitious committee to be formed and to be implemented. I say with all pride that this association is great. I am extremely humbled by your love shown to me by electing me as the president and to giving me an opportunity to serve this association for 1 year. I am extremely happy that one of our members has acquired LLD. Dr. George Abraham, we are proud of you, Doctor, and we expect you professional excellence in more and more professional excellence from you, not only academic in professional fields also. And I know that you are a great lawyer also, but we expect more from you. As far as our Sugunabalan sir is concerned, he is the senior representative to our committee. Under his shelter only we could, even in the hottest sun, because of his great, the banyan effect of the calmness of the tree and the whatever benefit under which we could sustain ourselves. And I am also thankful to the former President Abraham Vakanal for having come here on our invitation for felicitations. And again I say with pride that it is great 1 year, though pandemic, we are indebted to for the members and especially to the Honorable Chief Justice. And I say thank you all. Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's move on to the much awaited inauguration ceremony of our official website and YouTube channel. I most humbly invite Honorable Mr. Justice S. Manikumar, Chief Justice High Court of Kerala, to officially inaugurate the website and YouTube channel of Kerala High Court Advocates Association. I request the Lordship to kindly address the Lord as well.
Mr. Rashmanaran, President of the Kerala High Court Advocates Association. Mr. Sugunabalan, President of the Kerala High Court Senior Advocates Association. Mr. Abraham Vakanal, Senior Advocate, High Court of Kerala. Advocate Dr. George Abraham. Mr. T.K. Ajit Kumar, Secretary, Kerala High Court Advocates Association. Other office bearers of the Kerala High Court Association. Srimati Sushila Devi. Sheila Devi. I thought President candidate. Mr. Jose, former President of the Advocate Association. Respected senior lawyers, Registrar General of this court, my dear junior lawyers, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all. The Greek mythology pictures justice as a blindfolded goddess. Themis holding scales. The scales are symbolic of weighing and balancing the rights and privileges. In the act of weighing and balancing, the bar and the bench, or in the process of bringing justice to the litigants. Decision in Kesava Banandi case from state has taught us that basic structure of the constitution cannot be changed. The erudite of the High Court of Kerala has produced great lawyers like M.K. Nambiya, his illustrious son, Mr. K.K. Venugopal, the Attorney General of India, great judge, Justice Krishnaya, and many others to emulate. Advocacy, in its all grandeur, is a noble profession. The bar and the bench are complementary with mutual respect to each other. The Supreme Court in P.D. Gupta's case observed that good and strong advocacy by the Council is necessary for good administration of justice. With my little experience in Kerala High Court, I have no hesitation to state that Kerala High Court Advocate Association maintains the above principles. Advent of internet and the world website has changed the face of the world, where information on all subjects is freely available, paving way for gaining and enhancing knowledge. I am informed that website of the Kerala High Court Advocates Association would contain the history of the association, its bylaws, links relating to welfare schemes, medical assistance schemes, etc. I am also told that a directory of all the members of the association with individually accessible profile page of each will be uploaded soon. By launching a website and YouTube channel, the association would be equipped for conducting law lectures, seminars and other meetings. YouTube channel will facilitate people across the world to listen to the various programs of this great association. Further, video recording of the programs would also be available online. Kerala High Court Association has launched a scheme offering laptops to the advocates to avail the facility of e-filing and virtual hearing of courts. The association has launched Junior Lawyers Scheme 2020 to help the junior lawyers during COVID-19. The association has released an Android app called Kerala High Court Case Status, displaying the status of the cases in courts. The Kerala High Court Advocate Association has contributed the manpower and resources to render aid in distress relief measures. Today, it is yet another red letter day for the Kerala High Court Advocates Association. By moving closer to the litigants and public towards the noble cause for which the members of the association have taken their oath. It's a great initiative of the Kerala High Court Advocates Association to stay socially committed through the website and YouTube channel. I have immense pleasure in launching the website and YouTube channel of the Kerala High Court Advocates Association. I sincerely appreciate the efforts put in by the association for bringing out the website and the YouTube channel. I find many lawyers, Dr. K.B. Muhammad Kudi, Dr. K.P. Kailasanta Pillai, Dr. S. Gopukumar Nair, Dr. S. K.P. Satishan, Dr. Abraham Michingara, Dr. Sebastian Champalli, Dr. Suresh, Dr. Vincent Panikulangal, Dr. Pradeep, Dr. Balakrishnan, Dr. Siriak, Dr. Elizabeth Verke, Dr. George, Dr. Weiss, Dr. Jacob Alex, Dr. Karthikeyan, Dr. Krishnan Nair, Dr. Manjeri Subin, Dr. Nandakumar, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Dr. Rajendra Kumar, Dr. Raju, Dr. Shankarji, Dr. Varghese Mutangal from the Kerala High Court Advocate Association are contributing their academic excellence towards the cause of justice. Probably in the whole of the country, Kerala High Court Advocates Association would be the only association which has the blend of academic excellence and profession. I think there are about nearly 24 doctorates. I just took a note of your association directory, and even in Madras, I think hardly 1 or 2 will be there. But there are judges, about 3 to 4 judges are doctorates. But here I find that almost 24 advocates, while continuing their profession, I do not know how they found the time to do this thesis. It's very difficult. It's not like passing out law college. And I'm extremely happy to know that the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun, has awarded the Doctor of Laws for the treaties on land acquisition for special economic zones in India to Mr. George Abraham, a practicing lawyer at this court. He has appeared in this court, in my court, and I found him very polite in his submissions, but at the same time, persuasive, which is required for a lawyer. I am told that he has handled various cases, including constitutional service, labor, civil and other matters before this court, and the law journals speak of his contribution. I am also informed that about 125 cases conducted by him have been reported in various law journals. The unstinted efforts put in by Dr. George Abraham in the thick of his professional career is commendable. I congratulate him for this great achievement. I also appreciate the Advocates Association for the initiative to felicitate him in this regard. Coming to what Mr. Lakshmi Narayanan said about the functioning of the High Court and the cooperation of the Advocates Association, I just wanted to say a few words. You may think that you are weak. No. I always think that you are strong insofar as achieving what is required for the High Court and for the litigants. Mr. Lakshmi Narayanan and other office bearers of the committee, probably it is a last function for the office bearers of the association to have some program arranged. And when he met him, I said, "My lord, we are going to have our last program." I said, "You don't say last LAST, LOST. So this may be one particular program. You may not be a president of the association, but there will be many programs which you and I may participate together in some other capacities." The High Court could not exceed. We have to be sometimes, the High Court could not accede to some of the demands of the association. I humbly state that whatever be the conversation and whatever be the decision which we have taken during this particular period of COVID-19, I can only say that with the cooperation of the office bearers of the association, the legal fraternity and the clerks, we were able to march ahead of many high courts in the country, and we must be proud to say that we were there as an office member of this association. You have not lost anything, nor I think, I always feel something when my father used to say, there are two things, everything is possible to mend. He's a man of reformatory theory. But I used to say, there is something which at some point of time you have to put an end to it. So I think you have put an end, I think so far as the views expressed by the committee members or others. But we always feel that, I told him on the last occasion also, you think that you have succeeded in taking this Kerala High Court as the pioneer High Court in this country to have launched this web programs, video conferencing programs, and then it went on well. My sincere thanks to the outgoing representatives of the association and the legal fraternity for achieving the goal, access to justice. And I'm hopeful that the next president and other office bearers of this great institution will take this court further to various levels. And today we are doing something in virtual courts. We are inclined to increase the number. I was already told him that we have increased because earlier we had some difficulty in the bandwidth. Now we have increased the bandwidth, and even if there is a requirement for more number of virtual courts, we can arrange it. I thank Mr. Lakshminarayanan, President, and the office bearers of this association, senior lawyers present here and others to have given me this opportunity to address on the occasion when Justice Lakshminarayanan or Mr. Lakshminarayanan was saying goodbye. We don't want to say goodbye to you. Thank you.
Heartfelt gratitude to your Lordship for those kind words of wisdom. Advocate M.R. Haridas, Vice President, Kerala High Court Advocate Association, will now introduce the website to the August gathering.
Honorable Chief Justice, the President of the Association, dear seniors and friends. What we open today here is culmination of a dream that we had when we started our functioning this year. Of course, the dream was much bigger than what you see today, because what we open today is only the first phase of the website. The first phase concentrates on disseminating information relating to the association in all manners. The second phase, what we have in mind, is a directory of our members, and that directory, rather than being maintained exclusively by the association, it will be a directory where every individual member will have a profile page for themselves, which can be edited by the member themselves, so that the updating of the information will be seamless and always the directory will remain up to date. And the third phase we have in mind is a complete automation of our association functions as far as the office is concerned. Our membership, our renewals, our benefits, our schemes, everything will go online, along with the facility to pay online. This is what we have in mind. But what we inaugurate today is only the first phase, where we essentially have giving out of information relating to the organization. Like any other association, we are having a website which contains all the information on us. We have that about us on the screen, that will have, as my Lord the Chief Justice said, the history of the bar. The history of the bar is not complete yet. I have requested a few of our seniors to contribute copiously to that. That will be updated very soon, history of the bar. And there are the list of the former presidents and secretaries. Can you have that list, please? We have the list of all our presidents and secretaries, right, starting from 1956. The idea is, by the end of December, at least, we will be having a clickable list. That is, if we click on the name of Advocate Matthew Virgin sir or Advocate Sunil Jacob sir, we will have their profile that will be displayed. That will be adding on to the history of the bar portion. We have the voters list of this year published online. This is a searchable list. If anybody has missed out actually checking up the list on the notice board this year, please go to the website. The website contains that about us, and in that you will have the voters list, entire 8,000 members, the details are there, and it is a searchable list. You can search your name, you can get your serial number, etc. from there. Of course, next time when we have the election, our draft list will appear here. Anybody having objections will be probably able to raise the objection from the website and get it corrected through the website without even visiting our office. That is the plan. But of course, today we already have the final voters list. We cannot definitely have any objections on that. So we have the unobjectionable voters list on the website. And it will be possible for our office to add list or notices or details, etc., without going back to others. Others is the developer. For any company who is developing the website, we need not go back to them. It will be possible for our office to do it on ourselves. This was one difficulty that we were always facing, because we had a website earlier and we were stuck with what was provided with the developer. So if we want a small change, we want a spelling correction, we have to go back to the developer and get his involvement. Each time they charge you for the service. That will not be necessary in this website, because this website uses what is known as content management system. Adarsh knows better about it, but the essential idea is it will be possible for us to correct, add, subtract, etc. from the website from our end without the interference of the developer. So that will be the benefit. So the draft list, the notices, everything will soon appear directly from our office to the website. And there is a section called resources that contains all our rules, regulations, our schemes, various, this is our memorandum of association and the bylaws. Everything is available now online. Of course, makes a very complicated reading, something very similar to CPC, our bylaw. So anybody interested can take some time with it. Probably a thesis by Dr. Abraham would be appropriate as far as our bylaw is concerned, such stuff as that. And we have our notices, etc., which will be the notices section, which contains the daily notices, that is including the court notices, so and so judge is not sitting, that cases will be called up in such and such place. All those will appear on the notice board. We are planning to have a method of push notifications onto your mobile phone from here, so that if there is a notice which is of importance of practice, that will come directly to your mobile phone. That will be happening by the end of the third phase, but as of now, anybody visiting over here will be able to see the notices. So this is the arrangement. We have the calendar. Our calendar, unfortunately, we got it a little late, otherwise it would have been on the website now. It is being released today, the calendar for 2021. Today night, you will be having calendar of 2021 on the website, along with calendar of 2020. So from today night onwards, we will be having the new calendar also. And as I told you, we plan a lot of further expansion on this. We have a plan of including lot of academic articles, because as your Lordship said, it is possible for us to easily manage it. We have 24 doctorate holders and much more erudite authors who write copiously on various subjects of law. So we will have a very elaborate academic section also, which will contain various articles on law, and that will probably be a boost to our junior members also, who are actually very resourceful when it comes to writing academic articles, I have seen. So that will be there, and we will have other normal gallery, contact, etc., which is there in probably all websites, that is there here also. Please, if you could open your mobile phones and have a look at I'm requesting everybody to have your mobile phone. www.khcaa.com is our website. Please go through that. If there are suggestions, it is most welcome. If it is before December 31st, I assure you I will do it. If it is after December 31st, I assure you the next committee will do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I request our Chief Justice to hand over a memento to Advocate Adarsh S., who is a developer of our official website, as a token of our deep-felt appreciation and gratitude. I now welcome Advocate Jaikumar Nambudiri, Treasurer, Kerala High Court Advocate Association, to introduce Advocate Dr. George Abraham, who is being felicitated.
Honorable Chief Justice Manikumar, respected President, senior lawyers, and other lawyers and friends. My duty is to introduce Dr. George Abraham. I think I need not introduce Dr. G to this bar or to the members. A very tough lawyer, but a pakka gentleman in all aspects. A role model for the junior lawyers, studious, and I just introducing his academic achievements to the function. He did his B.Tech in civil engineering from Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam, and thereafter took LLB from Bangalore University, Bangalore in law. Then Dr. John did his ML from Annamalai University in Labor, Industrial Relations and Administrative Law. Thereafter, he took his PhD from Nagpur University, Nagpur, Maharashtra. The subject is environmental issues in international perspective and their protection through the United Nations Charter, a critic. This is the subject. Now, a great achievement, he did his LLD from University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun. The subject is a treatise on land acquisition for a special economic zones in India. On behalf of the entire bar, I congratulate Dr. George Abraham and wish him all success in future also, and wish him all success once more. Thank you. Thank you all.
I now request our Honorable Chief Justice to hand over a memento to Advocate Dr. George Abraham as a mark of a heartfelt appreciation. We'll be officially releasing the Kerala High Court 2021 calendar now. I request our Honorable Chief Justice to officially release the calendar 2021 by handing over a copy to our respected Registrar General, Mrs. Coffee Thomas. I most humbly invite our Registrar General onto the dais. Thank you, ma'am. I invite Senior Advocate N.M. Sugunapalan, President, Kerala High Court Advocate Senior Advocates Association, to offer felicitations.
Honorable Chief Justice, Yes, Kumar, President of the Association, Lakshmi Narayan, Dr. George Abraham, Devakumar, Namputri, Ajit Kumar, Hariraj, and dignitaries, including our respected Registrar General, Dr. Abraham Wagner is a engineer turned lawyer. As you know, he was a B.Tech degree holder. A few more details can be given by me in the early days. In the 1992 or 93, this young man came to our office to file a petition. He was an applicant for dealership, IOC dealership, and he was number 2. He wanted to challenge the selection. According to him, the selection was completely
violating all the norms published. He started preparing, helping the lawyer, but he started arguing with the lawyer. So, moment the brief was actually given by him. Of course, we will be free to prepare it, but he is not permit the lawyer to draft and finalize. Each and every word was objected. Ultimately, it took another 3 or 4 days. Matter was prepared and filed. Lawyer got sometimes annoyed, irritated because of it. Unfortunately, that lawyer was myself. Ultimately, we filed. He was satisfied and filed. We went back. Sometime later, about 2 months later, again he came back, saying, at that time I am not coming for any filing like this. I am an advocate now. I request that I may be given a chair in the office. In the meanwhile, there is a consultant office. Usually consultation will come who will be a better person and his character. That was, we all supported him because he was very tough at that time. So that Mr. Chandrasekharan was the law minister and senior lawyer. He ultimately accepted him. And we, as a junior lawyer, we used to interest him in simple matters. Things they are also very interesting. He will research on this. The simple matter, he will research on this. Make some point and never yield to it. And ultimately, some of the lawyers came and complained to us. You have so many juniors. To send somebody to this case, I may be relieved. I could not finish this case because of him. This is the way in which he conducted. He said, Pakka researcher. Then, during this course, he was continuing the studies. As you said, Mr. Namburi said, on the parallel, he was continuing studies. He became an LM, then thereafter PhD, he is continuing studies. He was being a researcher, senior or head of the office, Mr. Chandrasekharan was encouraging him. He used to give his problems to solve and he will give a report. And ultimately he was, till his death, he was seriously assisting. And many times he acknowledged his ability to find out the solutions in some of the problems which are facing. Thereafter, he became independent, studied, again studied, and ultimately, now he is one of the, I don't know whether any other person is holding LLD in our High Court. Probably previous occasions there were one. Now there is only one LLD, that is Mr. Abraham. We call him George, that is his. We call him only George. We don't recognize George Abraham. That's he likes that name also. Now your seniors are juniors and in a well-maintained office, and some of the matters we have dealt with which are being reported concerning is mainly concentrating on education laws. He is considered to be one of the expert on that subject. Many consultations were made with various institutes. To me, as a former colleague or a senior, we can proudly say he will become, in some more years, he will become one of the best lawyers available in the service laws. Otherwise, because he knows all branches, but he is now concentrated only on the service property. After 3 years so, he is made some books are also being, he is under the office. Probably that will be published within a few days, a few months, that will come up. I wish him all the best in life, glorious days in future, and we will have longer days of practice. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the kind words. I now invite Senior Advocate Abraham Vakana to speak a few words on this occasion.
Justice Manikumar, our respected Chief Justice, Sri Lakshmi Narayanan, our President, respected personalities on and off the dais, including Srimati Sophie Thomas, the first ever Lady Registrar General of Kerala High Court. Our chief is a special person, very sober in attitude and approach, quick grasping, and he makes fast and strong decisions. However, he does not usually attend a lot of public functions. He attends only very limited functions, and that too of lawyers and judges. One attribute of his that has impressed me is the manner in which he declines invitations. That in itself is a beauty. I have witnessed it. So subtle yet firm that it will leave you any regret or annoyance when he explains his reasons. And on the top of it, if it is tea time, he will offer you a tea or coffee also. As Kasava of his bearers, we have visited his chambers twice with Ajay Kumar, etc., to invite him for functions.
Truth, only the truth.
But he politely refused. And I may add, if recusal is an art, we may have to bestow upon him an MA degree for mastering in that art.
You can give me PhD.
It is nice to see him present here today in this felicitation function, and also to inaugurate the YouTube channel and the website of our association. With these words about Chief, I will switch over to our mother tongue to continue the speech. ഒരു വർഷത്തെ നമ്മുടെ അസോസിയേഷൻ പരിപാടികളുടെ പരിസമാപ്തിയാണ് ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ നടക്കുന്നത്. ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ഭാരവാഹികൾ ഭരണമേറ്റെടുത്ത് ഏകദേശം 3 മാസമായപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ഇവിടെ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചതുപോലെ കൊറോണ കാലമായി. ഭീതിതമായ ആ കാലഘട്ടത്തിലൂടെ നമ്മുടെ ലോകവും രാജ്യവും കോടതികളും അഭിഭാഷക സമൂഹവും ഒക്കെ കടന്നുപോയപ്പോൾ അസോസിയേഷന് ഭരണം നടത്തുക എന്നത് തീർത്തും ദുഷ്കരമായിരുന്നു. എന്നിട്ടും ഇവിടെ പ്രസിഡന്റ് സൂചിപ്പിച്ചതുപോലെ ഏറെ പരിമിതികളുടെ മധ്യത്തിൽ നിന്നും കുറേ നല്ല കാര്യങ്ങൾ, ഏറെ നല്ല കാര്യങ്ങൾ കാര്യക്ഷമതയോടെ നടപ്പിലാക്കാൻ ഈ ഭരണസമിതിക്ക് കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്യപ്പെട്ട യൂട്യൂബ് ചാനലും വെബ്സൈറ്റും ഉൾപ്പെടെ. അതിന് പ്രസിഡന്റ് ലക്ഷ്മി നാരായണനും സെക്രട്ടറി അജിത് കുമാറും വൈസ് പ്രസിഡന്റ് ഹരിരാജും സെക്രട്ടറി നമ്പൂതിരിയും ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള എല്ലാ ഭാരവാഹികളെയും ഞാൻ അഭിനന്ദിക്കുന്നു, അനുമോദിക്കുന്നു. ഇനി ഡോക്ടർ ജോർജ് എബ്രഹാത്തിനെ പറ്റി 2 വാക്ക്. വക്കീലെന്ന നിലയിൽ ജോർജ് ശക്തനായ ഒരു എതിരാളിയാണ് ആർക്കായാലും. കോഴിക്കോട് പ്രൊവിഡൻസ് കോളേജിലെ ഒരു കേസിൽ ഞാനത് അനുഭവിച്ചതാണ്. ഡോക്ടർ ജോർജിനെ പറ്റി കൂടുതൽ ചോദിച്ചാൽ അദ്ദേഹം ഏറെ വിനയാന്വിതനാകും. ഞാൻ ഒരിക്കലും ഒരു സാഹസികനായിരുന്നില്ല. ഇത്രയും കാലത്തിനിടയ്ക്ക് സ്വയം മറന്ന് ആസ്വദിച്ച വലിയ ആനന്ദങ്ങളോ എന്തിന് ഏറെ പറയുന്ന ഒരു നല്ല പ്രണയമോ എനിക്ക് ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല. അദ്ദേഹം പറയും. ജോർജിന് പ്രണയമുണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല എന്ന് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞാൽ അതിന് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ സീനിയറായിരുന്ന ശ്രീ സുഗണപാലനും സീനിയർ അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ്സ് അസോസിയേഷൻ്റെ മുൻ പ്രസിഡന്റ് OBRും യോജിക്കുമെന്ന് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നില്ല. എന്തായാലും അതിലേക്ക് കൂടുതൽ ഞാൻ കിടക്കുന്നില്ല. വലിയ വലിയ യാത്രകൾ ഞാൻ നടത്തിയിട്ടില്ല എന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം പറയും. പഠനത്തിനും ഡോക്ടറേറ്റിനുമായി സൗത്ത് നോർത്ത് ഇന്ത്യ പ്രദേശങ്ങളിലൊക്കെ നടത്തിയ അത്യാവശ്യ യാത്രകൾ ഒഴികെ. പക്ഷേ ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ആണെങ്കിലും അദ്ദേഹം ജീവിത വിജയം നേടി തിരക്കുള്ള പ്രഗത്ഭനായ ഒരു അഭിഭാഷകനായി. അതുമാത്രമല്ല, അംബേദ്കറെ പോലുള്ള പ്രഗത്ഭർ പഠിച്ച നാഗ്പൂർ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിൽ നിന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം PhD നേടി. അതിനുശേഷം 10 വർഷത്തോളം നിരന്തരമായ പോസ്റ്റ് ഡോക്ടറൽ റിസർച്ച് നടത്തി. തിരക്കേറിയ ഈ വക്കീൽ പണിയുടെ ഇടയിലാണ് എന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ ഓർക്കണം, ഡെറാഡൂണിലെ പെട്രോളിയം ആൻഡ് എനർജി സ്റ്റഡീസ് യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിൽ നിന്നും അദ്ദേഹം LLD ബിരുദം കരസ്ഥമാക്കി. ഇത് നിശ്ചയദാർഢ്യത്തിൻ്റെ പരിണത ഫലമല്ലെങ്കിൽ മറ്റെന്താണ്? ഞാൻ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കാതിരുന്ന മറ്റൊരു കാര്യം അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് അജയ് കുമാർ ഇന്ന് എന്നെ വിളിച്ച് ഓർമ്മിപ്പിച്ചു. ഡോക്ടർ കൊച്ചുതുമ്പന് ശേഷം കേരള ഹൈക്കോടതിയിൽ LLD ബിരുദം നേടുന്ന ആദ്യത്തെ വ്യക്തി ഡോക്ടർ ജോർജാണത്രേ. തീർത്തും അഭിമാനകരമായ ഒരു നേട്ടമാണത്. ജീവിതത്തിൽ ഒന്നും ഇദ്ദേഹം പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്ത് നേടിയതാണെന്ന് എനിക്ക് പ്രത്യക്ഷത്തിൽ തോന്നിയിട്ടില്ല. ജീവിതത്തിൽ സംഭവിക്കുന്നതെല്ലാം അങ്ങനെ സംഭവിച്ചു പോകുന്നതാണെന്നാണ് അദ്ദേഹം പറയുക. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ജീവിതം രൂപപ്പെട്ടത് കോതമംഗലത്തിനടുത്ത് ചേലാട് എന്ന ഗ്രാമത്തിലാണ്. ഞാൻ അതുവഴി പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്. കവുങ്ങിൻ തോപ്പുകളും നെൽപ്പാടങ്ങളും തെങ്ങിൻ തലപ്പുകൾ കാറ്റിലാടുന്ന ദൃശ്യങ്ങളുമൊക്കെയുള്ള ഒരു ഗ്രാമം. വളരെ സാധാരണമായ ഗ്രാമീണ അന്തരീക്ഷം. പക്ഷി സങ്കേതമായ തട്ടേക്കാട്, കുട്ടമ്പുഴ എന്നിവിടങ്ങളിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നത് ജോർജ് കുട്ടിയുടെ വീടിൻ്റെ മുമ്പിൽ കൂടിയാണ്. അങ്ങനെ പോയ കാര്യം പറയുമ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞു, എന്താ സാറേ ഇത്, അതിലേ പോകുമ്പോൾ ഒന്ന് നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് എൻ്റെ വീട്ടിൽ കയറിയിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ നല്ലൊരു ഊണൊക്കെ കഴിച്ചിട്ട് പോകാമായിരുന്നു. കോഴിയും താറാവും നല്ല സുറിയാനി പലഹാരങ്ങളും ഒക്കെ കഴിച്ചിട്ട്. അത്രയ്ക്ക് സ്നേഹമാണ് ജോർജ് കുട്ടിക്ക് നമ്മോട്. ഈ പ്രലോഭനത്തിൽ വീണ് അതിലേ പോകുമ്പോൾ നല്ല ഒരു ഊണ് കഴിക്കാമല്ലോ എന്ന് വിചാരിച്ച് ചില സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ, ഞാനല്ല കേട്ടോ, അദ്ദേഹത്തെ വിളിച്ചു. അപ്പോൾ വീട്ടിൽ നിന്നും പറയും, അദ്ദേഹം പാലക്കാട്ടുള്ള തോട്ടം നോക്കാനായിട്ട് ഇപ്പോൾ പോയതേ ഉള്ളൂ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ബന്ധുവീട്ടിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ പോവുകയാണ് എന്ന് ചുരുക്കം പറഞ്ഞാൽ ആ ഊണ് കഴിക്കാനുള്ള ഭാഗ്യം ഇന്നുവരെ ആർക്കും സിദ്ധിച്ചിട്ടില്ല. ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടെ പറഞ്ഞ് ഞാൻ അവസാനിപ്പിക്കാം. ജോൺ ലെ കാരെ എന്ന 20-ാം നൂറ്റാണ്ടിലെ സുപ്രസിദ്ധ ബ്രിട്ടീഷ് സാഹിത്യകാരൻ ഈയിടെ അന്തരിച്ചപ്പോൾ ലോകപ്രസിദ്ധനായ ബ്രസീലിയൻ നോവലിസ്റ്റ്, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയുന്ന ആളാണ് പൗലോ കൊയ്ലോ, പറഞ്ഞത് ജോർജിന് LLD ഡിഗ്രി കിട്ടി എന്നറിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഓർത്തുപോയി. പൗലോ കൊയ്ലോ പറഞ്ഞത് ഇങ്ങനെയാണ്: ലേ കാരെ ഒരു നോവലിസ്റ്റ് മാത്രമല്ല, മഹാനായ ഒരു ദാർശനികൻ കൂടിയാണ്. ഇതിനെ ആശയം ഉൾക്കൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് പറയാൻ പറ്റും, ഡോക്ടർ ജോർജ് പ്രഗത്ഭനായ ഒരു അഭിഭാഷകൻ മാത്രമല്ല, ലോയിൽ ഇൻഡെപ്ത് നോളജുള്ള ഒരു അക്കാഡമിഷ്യൻ കൂടിയാണ്. ഡോക്ടർ ജോർജിന് എല്ലാ ഭാവങ്ങളും നൽകുന്നു.
Thank you for that insightful address. With immense pride and happiness, now may I invite the man of the hour, Advocate Dr. George Abraham LLD, for the reply address.
My Lord Chief Justice, respected President, Secretary, and other office bearers of Kerala High Court Advocates Association, Registrar General, my senior and President of Kerala High Court Senior Advocates Association, Sugunabalan Sir, Senior Advocate Abraham Vakanal Sir, respected other senior advocates, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. My humble attempt to do a postdoctorate degree was successful at this time. I was conferred with the postdoctorate by the School of Law, University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun, on my topic, a treatise on land acquisition for special economic zones in India, that too on the eve of the Onam celebrations of 2020. I consider this conferment not only my personal achievement, but also as a recognition of this Bar Association, wherein I am also a member. On this occasion, I remember my senior in this profession, Sri N.N. Sugunabalan Sir, the other seniors, late K. Chandrasekharan, late Sri P.N. Krishnamurthy, with whom I worked for many years. After the death of advocates, late Senior Advocate K. Chandrasekharan, I started a separate office in 2004. I take this opportunity also to express my profound gratitude to my teachers in this profession. Dr. A.P. Pillasar of Nagpur University is a Malayali. He was once the Dean of Nagpur University. He was my guide throughout. Apart from that, Professor A. Lashminath, who was also the Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Patna, who also helped me in a lot to do this research, and he was my external examiner for this research also. And the guidance of these two teachers was the prime source of my research in law. In fact, I had no idea to do a postdoctorate research after my PhD in 2007. But in 2010, I met Professor Lashminath Sir in a meeting. Then he was the Vice Chancellor of the National Law University, Patna. And on his persuasion, I started to do research, that to a postdoctorate. I humbly requested him, sir, please don't allow me to go ahead, because I was not having any much time. But his continued persuasion resulted me to join at DS National Law University, Visakhapatnam, as a postdoctorate student in 2010. Professor Lashminath Sir was the pro-chancellor of that university. But I could not complete that postdoctorate within 5 years of time. There are two reasons. One, mainly because of my laziness and my inadequate of time, etc. Second reason is that my topic, that is a treatise on land acquisition laws or for special economic zones, that the 1894 Act, Land Acquisition Act, was repealed by the 2013 amendment. The entire Act was repealed. Now, I started in 2010 focusing this 1894 Act of Land Acquisition Act, but by 2013 September, that Act was become repealed by this present Act. Therefore, it was not possible for me to continue with the limited period of 2 years. Therefore, I give up that venture. Later, in 2015, we had a meeting in Nagpur. Now the PhD holders in Nagpur used to have a meeting in second Saturday of February every year. This time also I went there. Now we had a good gathering there. I thought Nagpur University is having the maximum number of doctorates in PhD, in law especially, because it was intended by the English as a law university. After establishment of universities in Calcutta, Bombay and Madras, now the fourth university was the Nagpur University, which the British in fact wanted to establish a central law university. Probably that may be a reason that Dr. Ambedkar studied there, etc. Now anyway, in 2015, Lakshmi sir again asked me, what is the procedure, what is the position? I said, sir, I give it up. Now the university after 5 years have cancelled my registration, therefore I cannot do it. Then his persuasion, I joined again for the same subject at the School of Law, University of Petroleum and Energy Studies. Then the university took a different stand. University said you have to change your gate. Therefore, Lakshmi sir was being substituted by Dr. Blessar, who was also my gate in my PhD. And I persuaded that PhD within the School of Law at Dehradun. And things are not so easy for me. There are presentations during the time when this court has been sitting there. Now we have a regular sitting here. I cannot spend a day thereafter. Now, it has been adjusted to summer vacations, and 2 or 3 times I went there for presentation, etc. Anyway, that finally I was able to submit my thesis in 2019 February. Now the evaluation process is also a little different. Now for a PhD, this was sent to 3 evaluators. Initially for 2 evaluators, this was initially sent. If 2 concurrent reports are came, the university will take a decision for academic bodies will take a decision to confer a PhD. If there are difference of opinion between the 2, it will be sent to the third evaluator. And the report of the third evaluator becomes the final. But apart from that, this postdoctorate degree is having an evaluator of 5. And there shall be a unanimous decision also to be required for conferment of this. Therefore, in fact, I was not view that my thesis will be accepted, even though I had done my maximum. But fortunately, by the grace of God, all the evaluators concurred with the thesis. Now they recommended that. Then in 12th of August 2020, I was being called for an oral defense by the university. By the time this pandemic is there, therefore it was through video conferencing. Now most of the eminent scholars in this field, there will be Dr. Inauguration Gupta was the chief of this evaluation team. She was been a professor at National University Delhi. And Dr. Ritu Gupta was been asking me questions one after other. Then at one stage I say, Madam, permit me to submit what I am having the knowledge. Now finally these evaluators can have a concurrence or a consensus with me, and they accepted my presentation, and that becomes finally that attempt becomes successful. Now I always think this prestigious High Court, which I consider one among the best in the country, with a rich bar, is almost a rich learning ground for me in my entire career. Our Chief Justice has been very kind enough to spare his valuable time to preside over this function. I am very grateful for the kind words spoken about me. I am grateful to my senior, Sugunabalan sir, Bakanal sir, etc., for giving me the opportunity to speak in favor of me. I also appreciate the Kerala High Court Advocates Association for organizing this function. Also, let me take this opportunity to express my profound gratitude to one and all who are present here and those who are attending this meeting through video conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I invite Advocate Vishnu Prasad, Joint Secretary, Kerala High Court Advocate Association, to propose the vote of thanks.
R. Lakshmi Narayan, President, KHCAA, Honorable the Chief Justice, Justice S. Manikumar, senior advocates, my friends, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you who graced us with your presence in the dais. On behalf of Kerala High Court Advocates Association, I thank Honorable the Chief Justice S. Manikumar for inaugurating this envious milestone for our association, and also for the good words by him. I thank you, sir. I thank our Secretary, Advocate T.K. Ajit Kumar, for the warm welcome speech. Thank you, sir. On behalf of the association, I thank Advocate R. Lakshmi Narayan, the President, and who was the torch bearer of Team 2020, for the existentially infallible presidential address. I thank you, sir. I also take the opportunity to thank Advocate M.R. Haraj, Vice President, and also Advocate Jaykumar Namburi, Treasurer. I express my sincere thanks to Senior Advocate N.N. Sugunavalan sir and Senior Advocate Abraham Wagnall sir for their good words. For the impeccable and dedicated contribution in designing the web page, I thank Advocate S. Adarsh. I extend my sincere thanks to the man himself, Advocate Dr. George Abraham, LLD, for his humble and jovial reply speech, and most importantly for making our association proud with his achievement. I thank Sophie Madam, Registrar General of High Court of Kerala, for her presence in the function. I also take the opportunity to thank Advocate S. Ranjit and team for the social media coverage of this function. Last but not the least, I express my sincere gratitude to all our members and staff who are present here witnessing this milestone of an event. As they say, gratitude is not the only greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. With this, I humbly conclude my speech. Thank you all. Thank you all. Good day. Jai Hind.
We have come to the end of this function. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, sir.